Well, friends, hello friends. This is our English period, and today we are going to learn one lesson that is from the diary of Anne Frank. Do you know diary writing? It's a very great habit to write diary. It is not exactly whatever we do throughout the day that we have to write, but some special moment it can be written, and it is very private piece of writing, so that it can be very individual. And I would say that everybody should write diary. Uh, so it will be, some sort of your memories which can be revised when you go further in your life. You can have some learning outcomes also from the diary. So this is very special lesson that can be learned today. That how one can keep the memories. Suppose you can't communicate with your other family members some things which must be spoken out, but due to some elderly respect or due to some we are not that important at a very early stage of life. Means we are very important, but whatever we speak that may not be that important for the our elderly person in the family. So Anne Frank was going through the same situation when she was, even though in her family there were around 30 people, but then too she was very isolated in the family. So that all accounts she has written, because when we are very small, when we are in our childhood, we need our friend. And suppose we have friend, we can share our whatever things, happiness, sorrow, everything we can share. But she was confined. Okay, this is the period of Second World War. That time they were refugees, and they were totally underground for 2 years. And in that, even though she was surrounded by 30 people, she was very isolated because no one was there at her age, of her age. She had one sister, Margot, who is 3 years old, elder from her. Even she has a mother, but nobody has taken that way to Anne Frank, and that is why she was very isolated and feeling that she is alone. And then she thought that paper has more patience than people. Means what? That paper can listen me. I can write it down. It will surely listen me. It will never deny my whatever I will say. But people cannot be. People don't have that patience like paper. So that she has explained very nicely in this lesson. So we are going to learn two accounts of Anne Frank, Annie Frank. Okay, so we'll go line by lines. Writing a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me, because at the age of 13, she started writing diary. So we can understand writing will not be that mature, but actually, truly, suppose we will see her writing is very mature. Okay, not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in using of a 13 years old schoolgirl. And she also had a reality that after that, when I will write something, and after that, neither I nor anyone else will be interested to read whatever stuff I have written in diary or diaries. That's it. But oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. And she said, this is right now, at this moment, this is because when we are totally engrossed with the many things, emotions, it should be let out. If it will not be let out, what will happen? You will become so suffocated with the thoughts. Because suppose nobody will listen whatever you are saying eagerly or interestingly, then what will happen? We will become so panic. As she was very small member or small member in the family, nobody had that particular respect for her, and that is why she said, okay, this is time. This movement is very important, and I have to express myself to someone, and nobody was listening there, so I need to talk with someone, and then she got the medium, that is diary. In the great sentence, paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed, and I was sitting at home with my chin in my hands. So especially when we sit like this, when we are so depressed, we are so bored in life. That time we become so passive, and then we do like this. म्हणजे आपण असं हात ठेवून बसतो की डोकं आपल्या हातामध्ये ठेवतो आणि बसतो खूप विचार करतो. So that was a situation in our life. I finally and bored and listless. What was listless is without any energy. Even though you are having something, even you are eating, but then you, because of this nervousness, you don't have that energy or positivity. So that was there in her life. So listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this, keep back notebook, grandly referred to as a diary. And she, at the initial stage, she didn't allow someone else to read this. What she call it? Diary. Unless I should never find a real friend. You know that whatever things are there in your life, we share to those. Mostly you share your things, or you share your emotions with your mother, father, maybe your sister, your brother, or maybe your friend, whom you feel my best friend. But right now, till in her life, there was no any best friend in her life. That is why she said, I will never disclose, I will never share this with anyone else. I should never find a real friend. It probably won't make a bit of difference. Now, I am back to the point that promoted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. Now, in the childhood, we need friend, but right now she is confined, okay, totally underground. So nobody is there who can be her friend. So now, at the first place, we get her diary, whom she can share whatever emotions she has, whatever curiosity in her mind that she can share. So, at that moment, at that particular period of time, who was the best friend of her that child? Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13 years old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving parents, a 16 years old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. Actually, nobody will believe that. So let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13 years old is completely alone in this world. Even though she has loving father, mother and father, elderly sister who is 16 years old, now she is this anytime was 13 years old. And also around 30 members in her family, all were loving. Okay, I can call them friends. I have a family loving earth and a good home. No one, no, on the surface I seem to have everything except my one true friend whom I can share. Okay, that was a tragic moment. That was a tragedy in her life. That even though there were 30 people around her, but that no one was there whom she can share her emotions, her feelings. And all I think about when I'm with friends is having good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary, everyday things. And even though 30 people were there, they can't go freely to talk with them. Only she can do one thing, that is she can talk about some need and all, not more than that. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we do confide in each other. Confide means to tell personal things privately to a person that one trusts. So maybe her problem that she doesn't have faith on anyone. That is why she couldn't share her feelings. That might be her problem. So she has written her true account, that she hasn't blamed anyone. She said that she has loving mother and father, elderly sister, 30 people around her. But maybe she is isolated. Maybe she is little different. She don't want to share anything. She doesn't want to share anything with anyone. That's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started it again. That is all things are there. He has put forward to us, and that is why that time she didn't have any kind of real friend, any kind of real person in his life, in her life, sorry. So she said this is the best medium, this is the best way to express herself to the true friend, that is diary. To enhance the image of this long-awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want want to jot down the fact in this diary the way most people would do. But I want a diary to be my friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty. So what she said, to enhance the image of this long-awaited friend in my imagination. Most of the people, what they do when they write their autobiography, that time what they do, they write something about their all things. But she doesn't want to do that. I don't want to jot down the fact in the diary the way most people would do, but I want a diary to be my friend. This is not that she wanted to read by someone else. Already she has said that. But she want to express, she want to tell something else, whom she can believe. That thing she want. She want diary as a true friend, not more than that. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in. Suppose you will start writing diary, and suppose someone will read that afterwards. Someone will understand who is that Anne Frank and all. And that is why I would beg to provide a brief sketch of my life. So suppose so and so person is there, and directly he or she has written, started writing the diary, and afterwards somebody has read that the reader must understand who is that particular writer of this diary. So that she thought again that I will write there my brief sketch, this little information about me, what is my family background, what is my all these things that she wanted to write. I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So my father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. So now she has explained about her family. Her father, what she said? She said that my father was most adorable father, very loving father, and she had married with her mother when father was 36 years old and mother was 25 years old. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12 June 1929. So there was 3 years gap between these two sisters. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. Till she was 4 years old, she had she had lived in the Frankfurt. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933 due to World War II. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother, maybe for the education. And they have immigrated to Holland, and there may not be that good condition to live in. That is why they have, this father and mother decided to send these two sisters to Aachen to their grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December and followed in February. So almost all family members have gone to Holland some time after. When I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot, I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6. And then afterwards I have been sent to Montessori School till year of 6. At this time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Cooper, the headmistress of the school. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. And then when she was about to leave the school, that time Mrs. Cooper, who was the headmistress of the school, was in tears because there was great rapport between Mrs. Cooper and Annie Frank. Now, Grandma, in summer 1941, actually there was great relationship between the Annie Frank and her grandma. But in 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with a little celebration because when you are in childhood, you have great praise for your birthday celebration, and that was there with her also. But as Grandma was not feeling well, normally what we do, suppose somebody is not feeling well or somebody passed away from the family, we don't celebrate. So like that when Grandma was ill, and that is why they haven't celebrated her birthday in a proper way or in a grand way, and that is why her birthday was very simple at that moment. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her, because just Shivaji Shetty can understand that she was a very reserved kind of person, introvert kind of girl. She Even though she remembers, she missed her grandma, but she never let it out from her. That was her problem, and that is why she has written everything in the diary. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the others, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. And she has put that candle for the grandma also in the 1942 when she celebrated her birthday. The four of us are still doing well, and all that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Now, just see, we will see that how she has written the diary. It's very, very interesting. Dearest PD, dearest, whom we can call dearest, who is very close to one, right? Dearest PD, our entire class is packing in its boots. Packing in the boot means taking with the fear and nervousness. When it happens, when there will be a result declaration, or maybe you will get the marks of your maths or English, science, and you might get punishment afterwards. That time you will be checking that how many I must get good marks, I must get good marks. Like that you will see. So entire class is packing in its boots. The reason of course, it is forthcoming meeting in which the teacher decides who will move up the next form and who will be kept back. So it was result day, and that was the deciding moment that who will be promoted in the next class and who will be remain in the same class. That was the moment. So all the great pressure. Half the class is making text. Gian and I laughed ourselves silly, and the two boys behind us, Cian and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday saving on their way from morning to night. It's you are going to pass. It's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. So even Gia's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. So they were just discussing here. Don't think about it because it's a bit confusing. What they were doing, some were saying that you will be in the next class. Some were saying you will be not. Because all whatever they did throughout the year, that was the reflection. That will be reflection in the result. So some were very timid, some were very fearful that who will go in the next class, who will be promoted in the next class. But what she said, don't worry. Teachers are most unpredictable creatures. They can do anything. So don't worry. Keep patience. I am not so worried about my girlfriend and myself because you know that normally girls are very, very sincere and they do that. They do their study, they do whatever their things are given by the teachers and homework, everything. And that is why girlfriends were okay, fine. They will be in the promoted in the next class. We'll make it. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Now nothing was in their hand because already they have given the paper, everything, whole year has been passed away, and right now they are alone. They are alone. Everybody, all individuals, they are alone to think. Now what will happen? Will happen. Nobody can change it. So anyway, all we can do is wait until then we keep telling each other not to lose heart. So maybe we will be promoted to next class. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. So there are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Teasing the old-fashioned bossy who teaches maths was annoyed with me for ages because I talk so much. And when you are in a class, you will see different kind of students in your class. Some are naughty, some are very, very silent, some are very, very outbursting, some are making some naughty tricks, some are totally sincere, very regular, some are totally away from the study, all type of things. Some are talkative, some are reserved type of introvert person. So this kind of, but if you see, Anne Frank was very, very talkative, and that is why she wasn't good with her maths teacher, who was Mr. Easy. So many a times, he scolded fur, with my fur. I thought so much. After several warnings, he assigned me strong homework, an essay on the subject of chatterbox. What can you write about that? And they used to talk much during the math period, and that is why Mr. Easy used to give her some extra homework. One day he had given one homework, that is, write down the essay on chatterbox. And he also asked, Chatterbox, what can you write about that? I would worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. And then, as he had assigned the homework to her because he was talking too much, and then she had done, she has written the name of the essay, and she has put the notebook in the bag or school bag. That evening, after I would have finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. That he remembered that he had to write down the essay which had been assigned by the Mr. Tizzy, her math teacher. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen, and this is the normal habit of the all students at the initial stage of your childhood, that what we do, we chew the tip of our ball pen or pen. When we are thinking, we automatically we do that. Anyone could ramble, randomly not talk or write aimlessly or wrong. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. But the trick was to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of the topic. I thought that, and what she has done, she has given much gap between two words so that her essay can get finished very quickly. I thought, I suddenly had an idea. I wrote 3 pages which easy had assigned me and was satisfied. And, what she did, she had written around 3 pages essay, the chatterbox about, she has written around 3 pages. I argued that talking in a student's grade and what that I would do my best to keep it under control, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habits if my mother as much as I did, if not more. And that's there not much you can do about inherited traits. And she said that I should not talk much, but I can't cure this habit because it has come from my mother. My mother too has the same habit, and we can't change the heredity. And it's the inherited traits which I had taken from my mother. So Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay because again he started because he can't cure her this particular mistake or habit. This time it was supposed to be an incorrigible chatterbox. Incorrigible means never cured, or we can say never corrected. It is given something that cannot be corrected, or bad quality. Now, in an incorrigible chatterbox, I handed it in and Easing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he finally had enough and he cried. As punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled Quack Quack Quack, said Mr. Shutterbox. And third time he had given the essay to Annie Frank, that Quack Quack Quack, said Mr. Shutterbox. The class roared because they were happy. They were making much noise when they were laughing. I had to laugh too because Quack Quack Quack, said Mr. Shutterbox. Very funny title of any essay. So all class was laughing. It was time to come up with something else, something original. Now she had decided something different I would write. My friend Sally, who was good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in the verse, and I jumped for joy. Now every time she was writing essay in a different way, but right now in a poetic language she wanted to write one essay with the help of the Sally, her friend. Mr. Teasing was trying to play a joke on me with this regular subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. So now every time we had given the homework or assigned the extra work to Annie Frank, but that time whole class was laughing on her at her. But right now she wanted to give the reply by that all class or it should be gone on him. It should be gone on him. So what she had play a joke on me with this individual subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. So see, I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with three baby ducklings who were beaten to death by the father because they quacked too much. Why father was beaten to those ducklings? Because they were talking, they were quacking too much, quack, 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 they are doing. That is why he has beaten too much to death. Luckily, he into the joke the right way. Then he had read that particular essay in a poetic verse, but he has taken it a different way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comment, and several other classes as well. And he had really read that particular essay to many more classes, and also he had his own comments as well there. Since then, I have been allowed to talk, and I haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. He thinks always making jokes these days. Now, we can see he was very orthodox teacher, but after reading the third essay, which was quack, 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 Mistress Petter was like that. It was like that. But after reading the last particular essay, he little changed. And then afterwards, he also made himself very humorous and he used to crack some jokes in the class. So this is what the true account which was written by the Anne Frank. What exactly happened and why he has started this? Because no one was there who can help her out. No one was there who she can express her emotions. So by this lesson we can understand that it's very important to express yourself. So you must have someone else. You must have someone else whom you can trust more, and by to whom you can talk with. Whatever going on in your mind, that should be laid out. Otherwise, you will not feel relaxed. So I appeal all the students to this lesson that you must write diary. It's a true account. It should be really very true account. And at the very initial stage of your life, you should give this particular diary to your mother and father to read because you're not mature enough to read those things like that. Maybe you are mistaken somewhere. So it might be corrected by your parents or your teacher or your very good friend or elder sister or elder brother. You can show that particular piece of diary. But it should be because as we grow up, we develop our emotions also, and emotional skill when developed. Then what happens? We have more curiosity, we have more feelings which we want to share, and this is very fast age. So nobody has time to listen. So suppose you write that, and someday, some other day, the mother and father will read that and understand what is your problem. Because this is the initial stage of the character, and it should be built very well. So I appeal you all, write down at least 10, 30, 15 lines of the account of the whole day and just write it down. So that will be very true account of your life. God knows, so maybe one of you will become so popular, so effective in your life. So we will see this as a form of autobiography of you. So I will compliment you. I will for that. And you have to write this diary entry today onwards and make your true account of your life. So whatever this particular lesson told to me, I have conveyed to you. I hope that you have understood that.